Here to talk about all this and more, we welcome back House Minority Whip and Louisiana Republican, Congressman Steve Scalise. Congressman, thanks for sticking around.
Sure, Sean.
All right, so the Senate's back this week. The House is not. What's your message to Speaker Pelosi?
Speaker Pelosi needs to open the House back up and show the country that as other businesses are back up and running, you've got hospital workers and doctors out there. You've got people at grocery stores that are taking safe precautions to open up and serve the public. Congress ought to be on the front line of getting back to work and showing the country how to do it safely, Sean. That's the thing. There's no trade-off between safety and getting the economy back going. You can and must do both. Look, we just had a vote a week and a half ago on the House floor, and it worked very smoothly. You had 385 members that showed up to Washington, and we had social distancing. We were able to do our business and pass legislation to continue helping small businesses. There's no reason we shouldn't be having, at a minimum, hearings in some of these large rooms where you can be socially distant, but doing things like holding China accountable. There is a lot that we need to do to go after how this started, how China withheld evidence, what more we can learn to help people reopen parts of the economy. Because, Sean, if we don't start reopening soon, there are a lot of small businesses that we know right now that won't come back, that are just going to fold and go bankrupt. And we're already seeing suicides on the increase. We're seeing heart disease, other things that are related to depression from people being out of work, from people losing everything they built their entire life. That's going on too, and we need to be concerned about that. As you can see, protocols for reopening safely, people are ready to get out. And if somebody doesn't feel comfortable going out, they can stay home or they can put on a mask. We know who the most vulnerable populations are, but we also know for everybody else, if they want to get back out, there are states that are doing it smartly. They can go county by county or parish by parish in Louisiana's case, but they can start doing it, and it needs to happen soon, Sean.
So, you know, there's this question about, you mentioned doing it safely. The White House had offered to provide Congress, the House, and the Senate with these rapid COVID-19 tests. In a bipartisan way, Speaker Pelosi and McConnell got together and said, no, thank you. I get the optics of this, which is that, hey, we don't want it to look like we're getting something that our constituents don't maybe have access to. But you guys are the leaders of the country. If you guys aren't working, it's hard for people to get the money that they need because you guys have to pass the laws. And I mean, you know all the stuff you do. Do you think that was a foolish thing to turn down the test because it might have looked politically tone deaf, but, you know, pound wise, penny foolish kind of thing, that you should have taken, that everyone should have gotten the ability to take the test so you knew you were safe?
Well, you know, look, whether or not they take the testing machines, those Abbott machines, we still know there are other devices out there. Technology is moving very rapidly, and they've got those little handheld temperature checks that can, within 2 seconds, tell your temperature. And what we've seen, a lot of medical experts have said this, by the way, that one of the first signs you know that somebody might have COVID-19 is if they've got a temperature over 100 degrees. And for those folks, maybe you test them, or maybe you just tell them if you're over 100, stay at home and get better. But for everybody else, go out, still keep a social distance. And there are precautions you can take, including washing your hands, that you can still get around and do your business. And Congress needs to lead on that level. Again, whether you test or not, most people don't want to take the test, knowing that you can take it. We need to get more widespread testing, but at the same time, there's an ability to get this done.
Right, but Congressman, here's the thing: it's not just you guys, right? You bringing back your staff, the Capitol Police, the stenographers, everyone. Wouldn't it be good to make sure that we knew that when you guys came back, that you were tested and everyone was safe? On its face, it's available. It seems to me that it's a pretty simple proposition. Take the test. It's for the safety not just of you guys, but of everyone around you, and it gives them peace of mind.
Yeah, and look, there's a big debate right now about how widespread testing needs to be for a lot of people. And again, I was just talking to a colleague of mine from Georgia because they just started reopening everything last week. And they're having really good success with people being safe, and they have testing facilities. And I've heard most of those testing facilities, I've hardly had anybody that wanted to come in and get tested, but it's available in some of those communities. At the end of the day, what we need to be focused on is laying out safe protocols for people, including letting people know if you are sick, if you have a fever over 100 degrees, you know, you might want to go get tested, but you surely shouldn't be going out around the public because you probably have something, whether it's the flu or COVID. But for everyone else, there are safe protocols for going back out again. Businesses, workplaces are starting to figure out, you know, if you had offices already, you can be separate. But if you're in tighter confines, they're separating people. Restaurants are learning how to serve people even at tables, but maybe they spread the tables apart. We're smart. We're Americans. We know how to figure this out. But at the same time, if you keep things closed down for too long of a period of time, there are a lot of businesses and jobs that won't come back. And people are starting to realize that too. And the health costs of losing that opportunity for people and their way of life, their quality of life, it's so important.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you, Congressman, for both your leadership. I hope you stay safe, and we look forward to having you back soon.
Absolutely. It's always great seeing you, Sean, and you be safe too.